wish Meri well. I really do hope.
Yeah.
Like, I want all the good things for her because I feel like she's been through the ringer.
She can get in a loving relationship. I know that she, like, I just.
You know what? It might be a game changer for her if she really saw someone who actually could treat her like, I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know. Like, it's so weird. I don't. Bless her heart. She's very loyal. She hung out, stuck it out because that was her belief or whatever.
Well, it's the whole religion thing too. I mean, same as you.
Yeah. I don't know how. I still don't know. I still don't know.
Spiritual divorce.
Hi, friends. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Thursday, February 6, 2025. It is not every day that the sister wives can all agree on the same thing. It is not every day they all can agree in anything. And 3 sister wives agreed on Robyn's rules. And I guess in the world of sister wives, that if they all agree or if 3 agree, it's a fact. And so the facts are Robyn Brown lied or is lying or is doing something in regards to her rules and how she believes and what she thinks the hierarchy is and how you can get out of a marriage with Cody. Because Cody and Robyn, and Cody in this last episode, he still admitted that he doesn't know if he's still married to Janelle or Christine. He said, well, Christine went on and married another man. She didn't go to get a spiritual release. Janelle hasn't gotten a spiritual release. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just figure it out and leave it up to God. Do you remember how Cody still wanted to count Christine? Yeah. When he was like apparently screaming at the prophet of the AUB. Okay. So you remember that he still, under some weird circumstance, believes that these women belong to him? You got it? Okay. Well, when Christine left, Robyn made this weird statement. And she said that in order for Christine to leave and to have her marriage nullified with Cody, she had to go sleep with another man. And until she slept with another man, then her marriage would be broken and the seal would be broken. Now, at the time when she said this, Christine thought it was ridiculous because she said, who am I going to go to a church authority and ask for a release? They have no authority over me. And she said she wasn't going to do it. Well, recently, Janelle, Christine, and Meri wasn't there, but she was brought into the conversation, discussed this whole concept about, do you have to have sex with another man in order before you're considered released? And Janelle is still holding on to these rules in her head and said something pretty funny. But at this point, Janelle and Christine are driving. They're on their way to North Carolina. And Janelle can't say whether or not she's still married to Cody. And she isn't really sure. And so that's when Christine brings up the story. Check it out.
Until you have sex with the next guy, you're not divorced anyway.
I just think that's bull. I'm sorry.
Robyn said, in the church that we used to belong to, they teach that you're not divorced until you basically have sex with the next guy. Skip it all, go have sex with somebody, then that marriage is over, you can move on. You know, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
There's a lot of really weird rules in the AUB, but a lot of it comes from Doctrine and Covenants 132, which was written by Joseph Smith. And it's about the principle of the celestial marriage, which is when he introduced polygamy into the LDS church. And he wrote all these crazy rules about how a man can basically cheat and it's not adultery. And the reason why it's not adultery is because they don't recognize the law. And because the law of the land isn't more important than the laws of God. And because the laws of God are more important, they only abide by God. And so the foundation of celestial marriage is that they don't recognize legal marriages at all. And so they have to get women to buy into it. Now, men can only commit adultery if they end up sleeping with a woman that they're not married to and they haven't been sealed to, or fornicating with a woman that they're not sealed to. So any touch prior to marriage would be considered adultery and could release the women that he was previously with. Meaning, Christine is going to ask Suki at the upcoming tell-all to ask Cody if he and Robyn had sex before marriage, because everyone saw their engagement pictures and they definitely looked cozier than a couple that's only supposed to be holding hands. Cody broke their vows so much more before the women ever did anything. And the whole rules are so stupid. But regardless, the women are not allowed to have sex with anyone. And if a woman does have sex with someone, they've broken their covenant, they've broken their seal, and they can be damned to hell at that point. Yeah. So it's not just that like you can go sleep with another guy for your seal to be broken, but it's also like your seal's broken and you're going to hell. But they don't tell you that on the show. So Christine says, just have sex, get rid of the marriage, you're done. It is a dumb rule. And if you think about all the rules within this church that were written by Joseph Smith, most of them contradict each other.
It kind of bothers me that Christine's so flippant about, well, you should just go sleep with somebody, because my brain doesn't work that way. I mean, the boundaries were set in place because these are families. Otherwise, if it's just some guy goes and gets a girlfriend, starts sleeping around, we're just a bunch of baby mamas. But we are a family. We are raising children together as a family structure, not just a whole bunch of women who are sleeping with some guy.
Okay, so they don't necessarily agree with Robyn and how Robyn is talking about sleeping with other men, and they think this rule is ridiculous. And Christine thinks that you should just be able to go have sex and then skip going to the church for a release. And it seems like Janelle, even though she's not agreeing with Christine that you should go sleep with someone, doesn't agree with Robyn that you sleep with someone and get it spiritually divorced. And she thinks it's like this stupid thing that they're all kind of mocking and they're all making fun of and whatever. But what I did hear Janelle say is that if we didn't believe this way, we would all just be a bunch of baby mamas, but we were a family. But they really weren't a family. I mean, let's be honest here. When they were all in Lehigh for a short period of time, from like 2006 until 2010, they were a family, the three of them. They all lived in the same home. But Janelle left Cody. Janelle left Cody after the birth of Gabriel, her son. She left Cody after she had had 5 kids, and she moved and she went to school, and she was a single mom, and she lived in a different city. She ended up buying a house, I think in 2002 or 2003. She ended up getting back with Cody in 2006. She was away from Cody for 5 years, not living with him, not living with Christine, not living with Meri. 5 years. She went to school. She got her degree. She bought a house. She was doing her own thing. And then suddenly Cody roped her back in. Cody was going bankrupt. Cody needed money. And he somehow convinced her that if they got this house in Utah, everything would be great again. And she went back to Cody. So she and Cody were not a couple for 5 years. And they, on the show, act like this split was not very long. If you can leave a man, complete a college degree, and buy a house, that's a pretty long time to be separated. And during that period, Maddie Brown said on a podcast that she was having, as a 6-year-old, having to help her mom change diapers and take care of her siblings because her mom was working and in school. And she said that experience left her as a parent feeling like she would never do that to a child because it's not the responsibility of a 6-year-old to have to help mom nurture and take care of babies. So Cody really did have baby mamas, but Janelle is obviously still indoctrinated and still like rose-colored glasses and viewing this as a family. It's kind of wild when you think about their history and how much they've left out of the story, but that's neither here nor there. But they all agree that Robyn's rule that she's telling them that they have to do is stupid. Now, Robyn's rule isn't actually like the whole rule, and Meri will explain what the rule actually is.
Until I have sex with somebody, that means I'm still attached to Cody. I don't think it means that. I think it really is more for if you're going to go outside of your marriage and have sexual relations, then now that marriage is nullified.
I know Meri has just recently gotten a release, like what we call a release, which is a divorce. And it's made me think, I kind of like the idea of getting a spiritual release, but I don't even know who to call.
Okay, so Meri explains it the best, and it's actually the accurate truth, and it proves that Robyn is lying. And it's that if a woman has sex outside of marriage while she's still involved with a man and supposed to be in a committed union, then at that point, the contract and the seal is nullified. And that's how it's written in the Doctrine and Covenants. And so for Robyn to have put that on Christine and on Janelle and on Meri, it's just a way for her to try to control them. It's a way for her to try to say, well, like, listen, you're not really gone. I still have control over you. We can still take your money. We're going to still use your bank accounts. We're going to still use your funds and we're going to do whatever we want. And you're going to have to work for me. And, I was thinking about something more than anything. And this is just, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, but Robyn Brown, for as much as she is an indoctrinated victim of a cult, she is she is calculated, she is methodical, she is vindictive, and she is cruel because no one with eyes cannot see what she did to this family in the terms of how she pilfered the money from them. She methodically used her manipulation and sex to gain favor with Cody. She stroked his ego. She gave him whatever he wanted sexually and meticulously put herself in a position where she became the top wife. Once she became the top wife, she was basically like Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein. She was the shot caller. She was the person that was organizing things. She was the one that was benefiting financially from it. If Robyn had her way, I'm sure in some degree she would try to bring in new women and would still want to be in charge, right? Of all of it. Robyn came into a situation specifically for money, and she prostituted herself in many ways by getting to the top. Cody, once Robyn did all of these things, was like, this is great. I finally found like the Bonnie to my Clyde. We're going to do this. And Cody, because Robyn will play the same game and pretend like she's submissive to him, thinks that he has a lot of control over her. And to a degree, he does. I mean, she will definitely let him play I'm the patriarch, I'm in charge, you're going to listen to me, you're going to bow down to me. But for all of that to say is that Robyn had a lot more flexibility in her access to the money, because one thing that they don't talk about on this show is that one of the big fights when they left, when all of these women were getting ready to leave, had to do with the fact that Robyn started going into the bank account, the family business account, and was using the family business account as her own bank account. And she was doing this because she became Cody's wife. And once she became Cody's wife, she viewed Cody's assets as hers. And even though Cody was having her sign documents saying the women didn't own property and she let him have sole and separate property, like with Janelle and Meri on Coyote Pass, she viewed the family business account as a business account that she could go into and spend on whatever she wanted. And the expectation was that any money that was made would go to her and Cody. And then her and Cody were the ones that got to decide who got what and who was distributed to what. And the reason why she has more rank than everyone else is because she's his legal wife. And so anytime that Cody would make a stink about the money, if, say, Janelle, Christine, or Meri brought a grievance to him about how the money was being spent, she would threaten to divorce Cody. And she would say to Cody, well, if that's what you want, you can leave. I'm fine. I'll just take everything that you have. And Cody already watched her do that to her ex-husband by alienating the kids, getting Cody to adopt them, by getting him, financially destroying him. It's like they watched what Robyn did to Preston, and it's like he can't even see the writing on the wall that she's done the same thing here. She was after the money, and now she's still after the money, and now she's pretending like she's not after the money and saying everything was fair. But in what other circumstance would anyone on reality television be given the grace that Robyn has been given? And if this were any other show, there would be pushback from production. There would be articles about theft. Robyn would be literally accused of stealing from these women. But do you really see these kinds of articles? No, it's like people just ignore it. The production doesn't push back and say, Robyn, it's really crappy of you that you expected Janelle to pay for your house and that you used Janelle's money. And then Robyn will just say, well, she gave it to me. Well, why did she give it to you, Robyn? Was there a promise made that she would get something in return? It's no different with the sleeping with someone else. She's adding like a rule to them so that she can still believe that she's the head wife, that she has control, and that she can somehow get them back. And the reason why I think she's so obsessed with getting Janelle back and Meri back is the money. And we've talked about that a lot. So Janelle's like, I don't know how I'm going to get a release. Well, Janelle, just call Meri. She went and got a release. That would be a great place to start. But they all agree that Robyn's rule about sleeping with someone is phony. It doesn't make sense. It's a lie. It's stupid. And Christine has, I think she's a little bit more willing to, she hasn't been trashing them as much. And actually, this past episode said that she has trauma. I mean, she said she has trauma from when she lived in Flagstaff. She has trauma from her marriage with Cody. She acknowledged that she has nightmares of her time of being married with Cody. She'll wake up from nightmares and be scared because she's still married to Cody and she can't find her husband. And then if you're having nightmares about a relationship, that means you're coming out of an abusive relationship. And if she has trauma, she's acknowledging she's coming out of an abusive relationship. Janelle is not there yet, but Maddie, her daughter, said on the podcast that she's no longer a part of that Janelle and Cody's marriage was abusive and an unhealthy one, and that Cody was abusive to Janelle and is abusive to the whole family. So Janelle's not there yet to recognize that she's being abused, but she could get a release if she wanted one. She shouldn't have to, and no one should be told they have to. But either way, Robyn was mocked and lied, and basically all three of them said she was a liar. And that's like one of the first times I've seen all of them on the same page. So what are your thoughts about that? Tell me in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.